Hi, how is everyone? I hope you're well. This is so funny actually that we're doing this because we're in my humble abode. I've never done anything like this from home before. I've warned everyone, right, we're doing this, don't come in, like get ready. But the irony is we are 100% going to get that moment where the kid comes in the walker and the other one's like this. So let's just get that out of the way. It's most likely going to happen. Thank you so much for listening in. And do you know what? The quality of the speakers today have been absolutely fantastic. And well done to the JK guys, to Dragon Co-working, Clockwork Moggy, everyone for getting involved, for making this happen, because this is brilliant and I'm so chuffed. Right, so let's get into conversation about this. Social media whilst, going into isolation, because at the end of the day, really powerful social media is about going to events, capturing what you're up to and showing your life. And now we're indoors. So what do you talk about and what's going on? Well, these are the things I want to talk before I jump ahead of myself, how to actually sustain that business social media presence, because that's something that, I guess for a lot of people, and even myself included, it's a struggle to think, okay, let's pause. How can we optimize the situation we're in, and how can we optimize the tools available on social media to keep that business presence, but also be very much in tune what's going on in the moment. So today I'm going to be talking about how to optimize your social media profiles, how to set up your profiles correctly, how you can help people. You know what, right? You can see the side eye. I've got notes and I've got a little screen, because actually I find that it's nice to flow that conversation. So I've just side eyeing my notes, just so I make sure that we keep on track with stuff. And yeah, so I want to talk about how to help people and support your community, how you can stand out during this time and actually be respectful of and be cautious about what's going on, because we're all in isolation. It all seems a bit bizarre. It's something that we've never experienced before, but equally it's a very scary time. And for a lot of families out there, it's a very scary reality if their families have been affected. So as much as it's sort of like, look at us, look at this weird situation we're in, it's also being respectful of what's going on and the seriousness of it all too. So it's finding that nice balance. It's also about being real. So we're going to talk about how to, not try and make it all glossy, because at the end of the day, I mean, I've sort of admitted myself that I struggle, it's a struggle, and you're so used to being on the ball and you're so used to powering through stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like a big stop has come along and we're all adjusting. So that reality of our genuine situations is actually going to be a really powerful point on social media. So as much as you want to sustain that professionalism, you also want to be cautious about being real and sympathizing with people that are in similar situations to you. And equally, how to be positive. There's a lot of negativity going around. There's a lot of fear. How can we maintain positivity? And also, how we can, look at me, I've got a screen. There's no behind the scenes with me, kids. I'll tell you how it is. I've got my little screen, I've got my notes. So I'm doing a little bit of, can you imagine me on BBC News? I wouldn't be able to look. I'd be like, right, okay, so an update's today. So excuse me, this is why I'm doing my little dodgy looks. And we're going to be talking about planning in advance, how to be strategic with the content, and actually one of the biggest things that we could be doing right now is building relationships. So let's jump straight into it. Let's just go. So now, for some of you who maybe have limited time or just want to get to the point, and everyone knows that I'm really good at doing that. But today I am just going to get to the point and talk to you about how to optimize your profiles. Now, the thing is that you need to make sure is that you've got a plan. Now, going through everything I just said, you want to make sure that you're real, you're being genuine about your situations, both positive and negative times in your situation, and have that reality. That's that daily content. That's that in the moment content. You also want to be positive. You can pre-schedule that content. You might want to talk about tips that people can do to remain positive from your perspective, from your industry. There are other things that you can create that you can schedule in advance. And also, what else did I talk about? About be real, be positive, and plan in advance. Well, the thing is that actually, if you want to keep that business presence up and be respectful of the times and the struggles, what's going on, you want to be able to know that that you are optimizing your content and optimizing your profile. I will just say on a quick note about how to help people and support your community. That's also got to be a part of your plan. So what is your call to action? So at the end of the day, things aren't normal at the moment. We can't pretend that we're going to do a chat like I would have done 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. How are you going to, what is your call to action? Are you going to help people? Are you going to give helpful advice? Because I personally think at the end of the day, people are being a little bit tighter on money. They're being a little bit more cautious about the decisions that they're making. They are wary about a lot of stuff. There's a lot of fear going on at the moment. So you've got to work your marketing around that mindset and be very cautious. So if you've got that call to action, is it setting up a Zoom call to make sure, you know, that that you're having conversations and you're not charging, it's not a bill? Are you going to, have you got an e-commerce website? Have you got a product that maybe could help someone, or your normal price is at a discount? Or is it something like a booking site, you know, and things to do to that booking site to plan a phone call in the future, or even at this current time whilst we're, you know, isolated? So what is that call to action? Set that up and put that on your profile. You can have multiple links on your Instagram bio. You can use it elsewhere, where if you've got an e-commerce website, if you've got your normal website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you want all these people to come to it at once, you can use something called Linktree. Now, Linktree is great because when you click on that, you've got all your different links pop up, because obviously if you're on Instagram, you only have that one link. So that's something you can use to optimize your profile, to get people onto your website and to look at you during this time period, and even not in this time period. It's not a bad tip. Calendly link. So I personally feel like a really strong factor that we could be doing right now is building relationships. Now, as I said, times are tough. People are sensitive. We're still trying to find our feet in this situation. So what I would recommend is that you work on building relationships. And the best way to do that is make it as easily and accessible as possible to do that with you. If you are an expert, what we all are, you know, sort of expert in our industries. So if there's anything that you can do to help, to give support, and to actually use this time to have those conversations, to hopefully build something in the future, maybe putting out onto your website or putting as a social media link, a Calendly link, so people can pick a time with you, click on that, and then they can set up a Zoom call or a Google Hangout. And actually what we're doing is we're not selling, we're not trying to make long-term plans, it's being helpful, being advice. And you think, well, Molly, I've got to make money, I haven't got the time for this. I think that we're not going networking, we're not leaving the house, we're not having these interactions. So make it as easy as possible to have those conversations, to make sure that we're actually, you know, doing the right things at this time and checking those analytics. I would suggest making personalized links, so you've got different types of content going out that make sure that you're actually getting that conversation, you're making that interaction with someone, and make that personalized link, put it onto your Google Analytics. I mean, Neil's going to talk about that more in depth. I don't know if he's talking about that in particular, but he's really clever on it. So if you want to ask him more questions, it's really good. But if you want to personalize that link and make sure that to check your analytics to see what's performing best, I suggest you do that. Bit.do, apparently that's a really good one. I saw it earlier, it looked really nice. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Really clever ways to optimize your profile, and we're going to go through about the engaging ways and the type of content you should be posting. But just to have a little recap, multiple links on your profiles, like Linktree, so people can see all of your links straight away. Add a Google Hangout or Zoom call link, and people can book that through Calendly. Make personalized links, so when you're putting out that different content, you can track it on Google Analytics, and set up a Facebook shop, set up an Instagram shop. Make sure that actually your profiles are set up correctly. And actually during this time period, our focuses have changed. You know, what we are considering now, what our business strategy has got to change, because we're not going to be selling. We're not going to be able to meet up for a coffee or go to this event or do all of the normal things we do. So change your plan, look at what you want to achieve during this time and how you can, in respect of the climate, you know, carry on business as usual as best you can in this situation. So what is your call to action? What do people want to know about you? This is a really good time to sit back and review your profile and see what information you're giving out that is relevant to people, and that if they are interested in your services after all this is done, or even if you can help them now, that your profile is giving that information straight away. Make sure it's set up, fill in all of the information that that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn ask you to, and Google techniques to draw people in from the get-go. What do you want people to do? You know, do you want people to inbox you, follow you, comment on a post? Do you want people to click on one of your links? Let people know the call to action that you have in place so you can generate that conversation right now. And again, if you're selling a product or a service and you want to, you know, you're doing something for that's really good during this time period, you know, make sure that link's set up, make sure people know what you want them to do. Be very transparent in that. Again, the thing is, your profile is not for you, it's for the people. It's for the people you benefit. So bear that in mind when you're setting up your profile. Don't just make it on your judgment way. I think that looks good. I think that looks really great. Actually, no, you've got to make sure that it serves its purpose. And make sure it serves it for the right audiences that you want to target. So point number 3, you didn't realize I was doing 1, 2s and 3s. This is point number 3. Help people and support your community. Now, obviously, we're all trying to find our own feet. We're all trying to figure out what the best course of action is. But actually, there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. There's a lot of people that are, you know, sharing their personal struggles and saying, listen, I don't really know what to do. How can you help? Let's share their posts. Let's get the word out there. Let's support them in any way they can. Because you know what? We underestimate the power of sharing a post, liking, commenting on people's posts, and seeing if somehow the people they need help from, we can connect them together. So during this time period, and it shouldn't be a strategy and it shouldn't be a marketing plan, but technically in your marketing right now, I really think that people should be supporting, helping and benefit. I mean, look what the guys have done with this group. It's absolutely fantastic. And we ain't gonna, you know, we're not gonna forget JK for this. We're not gonna forget JK and Dragon and all the people that are working hard to make communities like this exist. So, you know, do good during this time, help people and really give advice that's gonna benefit people. Do you know what I mean? So with a lot of what's going on, I feel like on the platforms right now, we have, oh God, you know what? It's 45 minutes. Right, I'm going to wrap. I won't be too long because I really want to go through questions too. I'm a devil. I love to talk, but I'll go quickly. But basically, there's a lot of content going out there right now that's like really positive and really negative. You know, we're seeing about the news and then about the latest updates, and you think, hang on a minute, is this going to get more serious? Am I overreacting? Am I underreacting? And then you start looking at stuff with the supermarkets and the toilet rolls. You think, what's going on? And then that starts to get a bit of panic up, and then you'll see a funny video that mocks the whole thing, and then you'll see a video of something, you know, overseas where they're in total isolation. So there's a lot of different content going out, but at the end of the day, the conversation is all about the coronavirus, and I'm not seeing much other content that's getting that same traction as the conversations that are having right now. So if that is the case, and which we all know it is, you know, I would personally recommend, let's have that conversation and let's talk about your unique perspective on that. So have you got a setup at home? Have you got family, kids or pets? What is it that shows what your life is like in isolation? Whether you have that positive spin or just a realistic spin, whether it has negative connotations, share what your experience is, because I think you'll connect with a lot of people doing that way and therefore bring more traction onto your page. How can you be interactive and fun? Polls, quizzes, questions, tag people, create a game. You know, this is a very stressful time and people want positive distraction and people want interaction. So think about your industry, think about what you do and how you can make interactions so you're making conversation and genuine one-to-one with people, because we've got the tools out there. You know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram have all got polls. We've got lives, we've got all sorts of things. So look at those platforms differently. think about how you can connect with those people. Make video content. Make video content is going to be so powerful, because it always, with videos, all of the social media platforms love video, and that will reach higher on the platform. So think about how you can create, you know, real, honest, but also still having that aspect of professional in the sense of content and context. Make sure that you're thinking about what you're posting first. Don't just fling in the moment and make, oh, my hair's coming out, look at that, making a random mess. So think about that in context. Again, be real, personable yet professional. We really need to be together right now, and we really want to see how people are getting on, and that we're a community, you know. So this whole glossy, I'm absolutely fine, I'm not affected, you know. And when you're sitting at home and you go, well, I am struggling, this is a bit of an adjustment, it almost feels a little bit isolating. So I think by being real, being raw, and being true, you'll really capture your audience that way. Be positive, you know, be positive, share positive facts, share positive things that are going to uplift people and connect you with people. Plan in advance. So again, I spoke recently at the guys, the JK guys, Kent Digital Meetup, and we talked about strategic content. So that's something I'll have to go a bit more in depth into the other day, but create a plan of action of how you can maintain relationships and how you can grow relationships. Think about your target customers, the problems that you've solved, the context, and think about things that you can do now in this context. Again, making that engaging content, create questions, relatable content, polls, news, incentives, collaborations. Think about how you can take each of those points and make content from that, because the more that you make touch points of people to relate with you and engage with you, they'll look at your website, they'll look at the offers you're doing at this time, they'll look at how you're helping people and connect with you in that way. And also, number one point, build relationships. You know, I personally think that this crucial time now, I know I've said it already, but this is a time now to use your platform to grow your community, to support people, to share people's stuff, what they've got going on, but also to interact, spend that one-to-one time talking to people, to build relationships, to help you out once we're out of this. You know, if you've got an e-commerce with it, if you've got a service, make it adjustable for your industry. Use the relevant links to make sure you're tracking it, that it all makes sense, and actually the process is as easy as possible for people to get in touch with you. And just work. We're all about the people right now. So what we've got to do online is support, share, be transparent, be real about what's going on, help people with your knowledge, with your services, optimize the platforms by setting up you're setting up your profile well, by making really good links, and you're tracking those links to see what's working best for you, and build on relationships. I hope that's good, guys. I hope that's all okay. I think we've got enough time now to do some questions. I hope we've got enough time. So I don't know if you want me to do, I'm going to click on the chat. Hopefully I don't change anything. Hello, darlings. Oh, the thing is, I didn't get to see these when I was talking, so let's have a little recap.
Hey, I am here. Sorry.
Hello. No, it's okay. I just thought, do you know what? I'll give ourselves 10 minutes or so, isn't it? We've got 10 minutes left to do questions. Did you fall asleep? Was you napping?
No, it was all good. We're awake. We're awake. We were listening. So we've got a few questions here, so I'm going to read them out to you. So the first one was, how would you respond to negative or overly political comments on your business posts?
It all depends on context, really, because I personally, so if you've put a post out that has a certain political view or opinion, then you're sort of opening up yourselves to those conversations. So, you know, I would be careful if you're on a business profile and you're putting out strong opinions, because actually, you know, at the end of, this is my honest opinion, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're engaging with your community, and your community, industry and target customer. And we've all got different opinions, different sort of things. So I wouldn't put something very personal on a profile that could encourage those conversations. So if you're in that situation, I guess the best way to do it is respond in a way that's, you know, controlling the situation, and say you're being polite, you're being informative, but you round it off. Don't go into troll mode, because no one needs trolls right now.
So I think a good example, so you actually know the person who's asked the question. It's Natalie from Accounting Connections. She's going to be talking a lot about political things that are happening at the moment.
Yes.
So she's asking if the original post wasn't political, and then people
Yeah.
are putting political comments on it. How do you do it?
Right, okay. That is a very sort of sensitive situation. I totally get what you mean. And actually, can I just say, Natalie and Accounting Connections Limited have been absolutely amazing.
They've done some really good stuff, haven't they? Put some stuff together.
Oh, they've been fantastic. So if you follow them, please do that. One of those things is that I wouldn't be able to make a logical judgment straight off the back. I'd have to look at the post, look at the comments. But actually, as a brand and actually in a position where you're giving relevant information, I would see how you can sort of round off the situation and be positive. And if there's any negative or horrible comment, you know, and it's getting beyond a point of non-respectable conversation, I would report them or do something. Does that make sense? I'm
not adverse to deleting comments. If I think someone's being over the top, I delete them personally.
Well, you know what? It's all in context. It's quite, you know, I love Natalie, and we'll hopefully she'll give me a ring and we'll have a little chat about it. About how to address that. But actually, that's a very personable thing. I'll have to look through the timeline and say, right, let's do this. But it's sussing the vibe. But as a brand, you don't want to lose your head in personal arguments or anything like that. Does that make sense? You've got to, you know, round it off, be informative, and sort of have a non-judgment either way. And if you as a brand, you don't want to elicit troll behaviour and be like, well, actually, I don't believe in this at all. If it's negative and it's gone past the line, I would, as you said, remove the comment or address the comment in a way that sort of you have to be a bit very careful about. But it's all very personal. Just ring me up and ask me, and then I'll look through it properly.
Okay, I've got 3 more questions in 5 minutes, so let's quick fire.
Let's do it.
So a travel agent has asked, I'm worried about saying I can help people with travel advice. I may not know the answer. So obviously in this climate, there might be some problems when it comes to travel, and she might be able to give the wrong things out, and that could be problematic.
I would just be totally transparent because, you know, even as Natalie has said, you know, we don't know what's going on. We're sort of in the dark. So the best thing to do is actually just be transparent, say, right, guys, I'm keeping my ear very close to the news. I'm making sure that we're getting all the relevant updates. I want to help you out as much as possible. And actually, you want to be that support pillar where you say, this is a very stressful time. We're all in this together, and I'm going to give you the latest updates on how we can address that. So actually, right now, what everybody needs is transparency. I wish I was more grateful. Excuse me. I drank so much water because I knew I took too much. But anyway, that people want right now is transparency, and you've got to be honest with your audience and what's going on in the industry. So don't give them any false promises. Don't give them any sort of false, not satisfactions, but any like comfort, if that makes sense. You've just got to be the comforting friend. Like, listen, we're going to get through this together. I'm going to help you out to the best of my knowledge, and we're going to work together on this. So that's how I would address that. Total transparency.
Yeah, learn and adapt. So learn all the stuff you can from the government website and provide that in a actual way you can read and understand. I think that'd be a really great way to start.
Yeah.
Cool. Next question. So I struggle with actual content. Shooting less now. I think they're a videographer, I'm guessing. I'm shooting less now at home with the kids, and I have less professional content to post.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. Is that, you know, we're all struggling. We're all twiddling our thumbs going, do you know what? I haven't got the accessibility to go out and make content. I haven't got the time in the day. And that's actually quite depressing. You know, the fact that our routines are slightly changing and we're not being able to take control of our usual day-to-day lives. That adjustment is very difficult. And actually, as a country, we're feeling it. We are feeling it, you know, and it's something that is a journey that is very personable to us, but is actually relatable in the grand scheme of things. So what I would do is don't totally just start taking films on the toilet and be like, we're really hard around it. You have that level of professionalism in the sense of having a purpose to your video, but also connecting to people and saying, listen, I've got 2 kids running around the house. This is my reality right now. This is where I work. This is it, but this is really hard. I've got a friend on Facebook who also, he has 2 young children, and he's admitted how hard it is and how much of a struggle it is and everything. And he's got so much engagement on that post because so many people are commenting saying, I know exactly how it is. We're all in the same boat. We're all struggling to adapt. We're all doing the best that we can. let's talk about it. Let's be honest about it, because I think the more relatable it is, the more it hits home and you think, I like you. Whereas when it's all polished and it's all, oh yeah, I've got no problems, you think, well, really? Well, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's good. I think the last question we had here was from Ian, and it was, he said, do your accents. But I don't want to get this video banned anywhere, so maybe no accents.
No. I mean, I can do my Texas accent. I think that's Texas.
If you need a laugh at any point, go over to Instagram and follow Molly and what they're doing over the time. Actually, that would be a good point. Have you got any? Can you show your socials so people can come and follow you and ask you questions afterwards?
So we are on Facebook at Molly Moodle Media. On Twitter, we're at Molly Moodle UK. On Instagram, we're Molly Moodle Media. And on LinkedIn, I'm on Molly Moodle Wright. And please, it'd be absolutely fantastic to connect, have a chat with everyone, and just let's just have a conversation. If there's anything that I can help with at this time, I know it's stressful and I know it's like we're a little bit stuck, and you want to maintain that presence and really be in that conversation, drop me a message. I've been really fortunate that a lot of people have messaged me and asked for help, and I've been more than happy to do that. So keep the messages coming in and I'll help out where I can.